Okay, look at the picture we're looking at. Look at the image. I make it smaller. Look at the lines. Do all these lines look straight to you? Now, when you drag a circle, imagine you drag a circle. You drag a circle with this pencil. You're dragging a dot. When you drag a dot, in our own vision, it looks like it's a straight line. But if I would put a million dots over here, when I drag my paintbrush, it's only lighting up all the dots. Okay, now if they were squares, I'd be lighting up all the squares. In this paint, they use squares. So when I enlarge the picture, watch what happens when I enlarge the picture. What happens when I enlarge the picture? I'm going to have to keep moving it. Look, first of all, the camera is picking up every inch of light inside, and you can see there's purple inside the black. You can see there's an alter color and a fingerprint. Okay, look at the design of that fingerprint. How I drew and how it drags down. As I draw, it's dragging it down. You see all these lines? So we're going to make it even larger. And we're going to have to keep moving this over so we see it in the camera. Now, I know I'm out of focus, so I'm going to have to see the focus. I'm going to have to see if I can get... This is the small focus. This is the autofocus. And this is going to be my focus on my eye. Out of focus, in focus, out of focus, in focus. Watch the way the lines keep opening up. I'm at 500. You're starting to see the jag. You see the jag over here? See how it's all jaggedy? This was once just a pencil that pulled everything through, and now it's all starting to distort because of size and obligations that these paint, whatever you want to, these programs use. But if you can see, there's now height. You see the dimension that comes out? The larger I bring it, you're now seeing dimensions from the separation of the pixels. You know, the pixel above, the pixel below each other, to take away, to make it look like it was round. Now there's the jagged line that I can draw on here. Let me see if I drag this line. Here's the jagged line. Do I change it red? Easier to see. Look at that jagged line. We're going to do that one more time. You see that jagged line? Oh, this is the stretchy one, so we're going to take that away. We're going to do the straight one. There it is. There's the jags. Now I make it smaller. I'm going to keep it the same size. Here's the jags, and as I move them over, the only time they're straight is when it's north-south or when it's east-west on the cross. The only time it's... Whoop, there goes the camera. The only time it's straight is east-west and north-south on the cross. But anything else will show a certain number of lines. You're going to see a certain number of these jagged lines. Notice that every big, 1, 2, big, 1, 2, 3, big, 1, 2, big, 1, 2, big, 1, 2, big. See the way the lines are not straight? Now the different angles you put it, the different ways everything seems to even out. A little bit more. The longer you pull it, the more you put in, it seems to even it out, but it's never equal. It's never equal. You keep moving this line around. So I don't know what this means or how it works, but this is our Pixelite world. Can they make a better Photoshop by putting more dots underneath, right? Dots above dots. If they put a dot over here above it, would it blank out the dot below it? But when a digital camera picks it up, will it see the same color, or do we need a little bit brighter to make that color up? Now, I can't explain it, right? I'm not a scientist. I just show you what I find. If you ask 100 people to come in and ask for faults, that's what I come in. I come in and I look for faults, things I don't understand. Here's another line. This line is straight. So if I want to straighten everything out now, right, the only way to straighten everything out is to now work in blocks, right? I work in blocks. I fill up a solid color of red. Hold on a second. I'm going to fill up the solid color of red. And now everything looks like it's filled. But inside of here, it is filled. But there's blocks behind here. The edges are filled because they're all lined up. Now, if they were all circles, first of all, look. The only time these circles can come above each other, right, Look at all the circles. Look the way the pixelites cannot even go around. And here, inside your circle, let me get rid of all of this and show you just a circle before we take away this. Even in the circle, look at the edges of the circle. So when you're looking at the sun and you see the sun rays, and the rays that come off and the hundreds of thousands of rays is because they cannot make a perfect circle. If you bend something, even if you bend a straight line, when you're bending the straight line, like, hold on a second. If I want to bend this, this is one that bends. You cannot find it. You need a straight piece of metal. You need a straight piece of metal. If this was a straight piece of metal and you did this to the metal, right? This piece on the outside will be completely round. Okay? Now, if the sun was that way, 1. If the moon was that way, 2. What kind of rays do we see coming off the moon? Not the same. So I'm believing that there's some kind of bent material or a bent rod, because if I bend this with a rod with real material, that real material will not have the edges. I'll have the bends. But every time you turn around, you can bend it this way, you can bend it that way. But to make it 360 degrees, okay, that 360 degrees will be like the orange cut. And you will end up seeing a splicing marks between two. When you see splicing marks, okay, in between, you'll see an edge that's in between. Anyways, enough said. 6 minutes to a video that went nowhere. Thank you for watching. Raphael 7286, finding the anomalies of the creation of life. Thank you for watching.